Hi folks, it's Rob V3PCP here, and this bundle of wire is my homebrew 20 meter double delta loop array that we're going to be putting up today. I made this back in the 80s, used it on field day, and it worked pretty well, so I wanted to try putting it up here at my QTH in Tiverton. So we kind of got the site prepped here. It's a nice fall day, a bit of drizzle falling, perfect day for doing antennas. So we have our one suspension point here, which is a 25-foot mast. Right now I have my dipole up on it, which will still remain there. I'll just lower it down a little bit, tie it up on the rope. It's on a pulley. We'll tie it above the bow for the dipole. The other end is going to be going up in this birch tree here, and thankfully my tried and true method of a rock and a sock on a rope and a bit of luck and probably lots of luck, I was able to get it up over that limb, which is, I'm hoping, approximately the right height, about 24-25 feet. So on to the next step. That is suspending it between the end of this rope, which is on a pulley, and that mast over there. I'll be back in a bit. Kind of suspended between the 2 points here. Enough we could put the balance line on the feed point. As you can see, it's parallel line feed between the two loops. We're going to look at the other side. This is just a temporary test for today. I'm going to be making some 450 ohm balance line for it. So we'll try taking it up the pole and see how she looks. Okay, well, it's kind of hard to see. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. There's the feed point up there. And 300 ohm twin lead heading into the shack. I could use a bit more height. Again, I'm just doing some testing with it. I'm not going to bother trying to tie the middle of the loop down on either end right now. The design that I tested on 4NEC2 shows the bottom of the triangle a meter off the ground. So we're a little bit low for that. Anyway, I'm just doing some testing. So I'll go into the shack and see what I can hear. Okay, we're in the shack now, listening to the Trans-Canada Net 14140, and it does seem to make a difference. I've got it situated so that towards BC. The net controller's in BC. So here's the loop. That's the vertical. It's there's so many other signals in there today, but it looks to make a 1 S unit difference for sure. SWR is good all the way across the band, 1.5 to 1 or less. That's going through the 4 to 1 balun and the tuner, and I just bypassed it, so I don't go through. Just use the tuner for a switch and use the automatic tuner in the rig. So far it seems to be good. I'll do some more contacts and see what I can come up with. Okay, so one thing I noticed here on the QRM is that it definitely shows some directivity. If I go on the vertical here, there's QRM reaching almost an S9, and if I switch over to the delta loop, it goes down to about a 3. So definitely showing directivity, which is good. Okay, we're going to do a bit of an SWR test here. We're at 14.095. That's the bottom end of the band here. We're about 1.4 to 1. So let's go up a little bit here. Let's go up to 14.200, 210. Quick tune up there. 1.4 to 1. Up to 14.300. Hard to find a clear spot. And 1.4 to 1. So I think that's pretty good SWR curve all the way across the band for sure. So that's a 300 ohm twin lead fed into a 4-to-1 balun in the tuner, and I've got the tuner on bypass, so I'm just using the automatic antenna tuner in the rig. Rig's Kenwood TS850.
5904.
Okay, we got a V6 Sugar Victor. He's in Alberta. So just doing a comparison between the delta loops and the vertical. His signal is about the same on both. There's the delta loop. There's the vertical. But you notice on the delta loops, on the vertical now, here are all the other stations. When I switch to the delta loop, a lot of the other ones are gone. Back on the vertical. So it's definitely showing directivity. Stations off the ends of the loop. The loop is broadside out towards BC and Alberta, and definitely not picking up all the extra stations and so forth. So it's definitely making a difference directivity-wise anyway. We'll continue to do some more testing. Okay, so this is the 4NEC modeling program I use for modeling antennas. This is the 20-meter delta loop as built, not as installed. So we'll do a test run here. So as you can see, we have a 7.06 dB gain, and shows the antenna, and we're at 45 degrees. So not real good DX angle, but still not bad. I mean, it'll work fine. So as installed is a little bit different. We're down a little bit lower to the ground, so we'll run the simulation here. So the gain drops a bit and the angle changes. So we're now at 40 degrees. So you know it's a higher takeoff angle from the antenna. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the height and everything the same, and the distance between the corners of the loop the same, and I'm going to change it to a 15 meter. So it puts it higher above the ground, as you can see here, and changes the pattern quite a bit. So we run the simulation. So as you can see, we're up to 8.5, 8.6 dB gain. And we're at a takeoff angle of 55 degrees. So that's coming down quite a bit more. And as you can see, we're still at 75 degrees. We're still, you know, pretty decent gain, probably 5 dB, something like that at 75 degrees. So definitely an improvement. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'll do more videos as time goes on, and when I get the antenna changed. This is Rob V3 PCP.